Gemini 2.5 Pro preview version tells us, okay, let's break down the Arabic root kafara regarding the Dajjal context, stating, you, user, are correct. In Islamic eschatology, it is mentioned in Hadith, that is, in the sayings and traditions of Prophet Muhammad, that the Dajjal, or the Antichrist figure, that's correct, will have those three letters, kafara, written between his eyes. This is widely interpreted as spelling kafir, meaning disbeliever, ingrate, or one who rejects or conceals the truth. By the way, as a side note, it is basically upon this that the entire tradition of associating this new sort of coming messianic, apparent seeming figure, claimant potentially figure, something like this, that this is an actual deceiver, that he gives actual falsehood, and all this. Goes on to state here, furthermore now, in the context of the Dajjal, it signifies his role right as the ultimate deceiver and denier of God. The root meaning of kefir, or those three letters, depending on how it's interpreted, often relates to covering or concealing. Okay, hence, a kafir is one who covers the truth by lying, in a way, or deceiving, or covers, is ungrateful for God's blessings. Proceeding onwards, though. Secondly, regarding the searching for an opposed meaning from the same root. And this is what they did not tell you in those hadiths from the last 1500 years. So you're hearing it now for the first time. It goes on to state, yes, the same root letters, ka, fa, and ra, can form words with meanings related to covering in a positive or neutral way, and one that stands in contrast, in fact, to the negative connotation of kufr or kefir, disbelief or deception. It mentions, for example, the term or word kafara. This is the most significant term, actually, that comes from that same root, kafara, that carries a positive redemptive meaning. Redemptive, like redemption. Ah, of course, that's the energy and essence of that figure. We know that from the Jewish side of the tradition. So there's no inconsistency here at all if you just understand it correctly. It goes on furthermore here to state that kafara means atonement. Oh, that is Mashiach ben Yosef's job in particular, isn't it? Very much so, dealing with that atonement, expiation, or penance, or tshuva energy. It refers to an act performed to compensate for or cover over a sin, a mistake, or a broken oath. This act serves to rectify a wrong and to seek forgiveness. See? Sense, finally, goes on to state, in this sense, kafara, atonement, is fundamentally opposed, actually, to the persistence in kufr, the disbelief or the deliberate wrongdoing or deception, as it represents an attempt to undo or cover the negative act in a way that seeks reconciliation and acknowledges a higher truth or moral standard. Again, exactly the role that a proper messianic figure is understood to carry out, and that also al-Mahdi is seen to be carrying out as well. Proceeding, it goes on to also comment on other terms such as takfir or kafir, meaning farmer. But again, it's again, as it shows here, it's about atonement or expiation, and also interestingly, regarding the meaning as of a farmer, it can refer to a farmer because a farmer covers the seeds with soil, and the aspect of the seed is very important because you cover it, you bury it, you suppress it so that it can then rise back up. Very important.
What's called tarifa. It develops some type of sickness or defect. It mentioned its chick would be permitted and not forbidden. So it's mutar, and it's not basically forbidden for them as something, and it's permitted for something that developed from treifa. Which logic would think if the bird is kosher becomes treifa, then the chick should be treifa. Chazal says no. The chick is permitted. Why is that? This is because the chick can develop from the egg. The matter inside the egg must decay. And at that point, its forbidden status is then removed. And so the germination of new life comes from the decay that preceded it. Likewise, all seeds that are planted in the ground first disintegrate and decay, and only afterward begin to grow into new plants. This process in Hebrew is actually called semicha, literally sprouting, which is where the name Semach comes from. And this same principle applies spiritually. Sprouting must emanate from decay. Chazal taught that that the one who mourns over the loss of the destruction of Yerushalayim will merit to see its consolation.
In conclusion, yes, as it states, while the most common religious association of the root kafara is negative, it's the only official one that's come out of that tradition, right? Goes on to clarify, no, the same root letters form the crucial term meaning atonement or expiation. The concept that the quantum superpositioning is given right there on purpose. This concept of atoning for sins or wrongs, thereby covering them in a way that seeks forgiveness and restores righteousness, is distinctly opposed to the concept of kufr as active disbelief, deception, or denial of truth associated with the Dajjal. But you know what they're going to say? My God, only the real Dajjal would come up with something as clever as this. That's how we know that is the wrongful, lying, deceiving Dajjal. Don't believe anything he says then, including this or anything else. So, when that's the pre-programming that an entire branch of the Abrahamic religion has been set with, but I'm not excluding this group, actually. I have so much more to say when the time comes properly, but for now, while much of my own attention falls onto the other major branches, we can say that really, in fact, what I'm about to say isn't even unique to this. It comes to all three. What is the real test, in essence, that the fact of this brings out naturally? This is what we're going to be not only academically thinking about, but it's what we're going to be living.